So I thought we were overdue for a flip through portfolio. Not portfolio, sorry. A sketchbook. And start making more regular videos. Just noticed my subscription numbers went over 1,000 on YouTube. That's pretty cool. I have to look into what makes possible. But also just, it's good news. I'm developing a plan for launching a Patreon program for running Spilt Ink. And it'll be great to have a lot of people around checking out stuff, to consider that when it's all wrapped and ready to put out. I have to resolve some other projects before I can launch it, but I like to plan a lot in advance. So this seemed like a good time to flip through this sketchbook, because it's been a favorite for the last little while. It's my current large working sketchbook. I travel with it a lot. It's really good. It's I'm not really sure how you pronounce this properly. I believe it's German. There we are. Beschutrum? Don't know. So, it's a big sketchbook. It's a blank set of pages. I kind of tend to pull it open and work anywhere, so sometimes later on in its lifespan that can make finding blank pages tricky. But you'll notice there's some warping happening here. I had a little accident. I was in Toronto just this last couple weeks ago. Sugar-free energy drink exploded in my courier bag and saturated a lot of work and this portfolio. And it's still pretty usable though, but I've got some character and a lovely pink hue to the edge of the pages here. So do a lot of mixed use for sketchbooks. There's a new version of well, not so new. From a couple of years ago, I redid a pencil version of a comic I did. And, I don't know, ideas about an autobio comic, but those are some false starts. Although I may come back to them for ideas. Sketches of people. Trolls. I was briefly contacted about drawing trolls for young adventure. Sorry, not young adventure. Young adult readers series. Didn't work out, but good math stuff. This is a concept sketch for Dracula, Son of the Dragon battle sequence in upcoming Dracula comic. Oh, well, that's self-explanatory, isn't it? It's where I drew the kaiju pinup that's in Revolver 3. And you can also get this poster. Working on some stuff from Dracula. Sort of blocking a scene. I drew this whole scene in mostly loose pieces of paper, but that was one. Sometimes when you're working on a page, getting it all worked out is a little cramped within the panels, so I go into loose sketching. Drawing dancers, I believe. With dynamic drawing. Actually, no, this is a model in our class. She's lying on the floor. That's right, I remember this. This is Pascal. We're doing life studies. And, yeah, that was something else from dynamic drawing. Quick loose sketching with a thin pen. Some paper and layouts for Bastard's Tale. Son of the Dragon, an emblem. There's an idea for a Pulp Fiction comic. More studies from dynamic drawing. Playing with the idea for an aerodynamic trailer house thingy. Like tiny houses and stuff. Yeah, a little sticking, but because it was a sugar-free drink, it's actually not too bad. It's a sketch I did for a bar for Valentine's night. Doctor Who. I think it was Peter Capaldi before we got to see Peter Capaldi. There he is again. It's close to the mark. This is art I did for dynamic drawing my course. Ferris wheel. Bad sketch. Did not like that. Abandoned it. Daydreaming. Some sort of battle armor concept. Musicians doing studies of oh yeah, there's buskers. It's an illustration project I had to draw buskers. That's my grandmother. Sort of. It's really not her. It's sort of a generic Jewish bubby, but it reminds me of my current grandmother. My current grandmother. My still living grandmother, Libby. This is actually for a greeting card I made for another family, but that's who I was thinking about when I did the cartoon. It's the Gutters comic I did. My studies. Dynamic gesture version of the same cartoons. Character designs. I'm going to develop a section on doing facet studies of the same model we just saw. Face, torso, hands, feet. So focusing on details without trying to bring them together necessarily. The pose. That one got kind of stiff. The blues are good, but I don't like the pencil work. First comp work for a sketch I did. Poster work. I want to get back to that for Brock Windsor. Other concepts for that, and for Johnny Cook poster that I've been meaning to do. Wrecked face. And that's Kira from. Those are all. Hope brain's not catching up with me. Name of the show I love is not coming to me. Huh. Well, that's the thing. Characters from Dracula. The family, the brothers. He's almost this old in the comic that I'm drawing right now. He's not grown up that much. We made him smaller. Have a different look for him now. Old Radu. Early version of the dragon. Vlad. That's from Bliss. So much more Protege project. Development sketches for the Beasts of Montreal illustration. This was the first rough comp, messy, in Sketchbook. Then I did. I was walking down the street. Actually, is what happened here, and the clouds are inspired by literal clouds I saw in the sky. Walking home before doing the illustration, and I was trying to think about, what to do with it. And when I saw the clouds in the sky, they were perfect. So I took a picture, and this is based on that pattern, but it's not really the same thing because that was sunny clouds, and I've done like layers of clouds with the night sky and stuff. But I borrowed the structure and pattern from the clouds of the sky that I saw. It's a part of our apartment we thought about doing something with. Sketches for murals I did with En Masse recently. Some more troll stuff. Little BDSM imagery there. Dr. Doom. I was commissioned to do an illustration on, so I did a bunch of sketches. That's kind of where this armor idea came from when I was saying what I would do. Sort of freeform, make it up as you go monster illustrations I was into for a bit. There's a cat with little tiny feet and wings. Yeah, so a scene I thought about drawing years ago, I never did. I sketched it out just to think it out. These are illustrations from a doodling video, viral video-y thing. Bullshit viral video-y thing I was hired to illustrate. Character I had to invent that I could draw many times fast. Just thinking out characteristics, simplify them, keep them simple, stupid. That's sort of where we ended up. I started there, but that didn't work. we're going into earlier versions. Yes, too stereotypical. These are some of the other sketches from the same production. Oh, and some of the troll art. Dracula. I love the sketch. I'm going to do a finished illustration to that at some point. Not too long from now. Different version of Dracula. Not one I'm going with, but that was interesting. Trolls. More trolls. I like some of these sort of magical creatures from the woods. Life studies. These are chunks of art that I did really fast and loose in Sketchbook. This is black dots. Alright, black dots splattered on the white page, and I just did that with, it was toothbrush. I scan it, inverse it, and you have stars. Just ink. And this is part of an animation. Yeah. The illustration I really liked, but the client rejected. The color one's pretty cool. I'll put it up on Society 6. Faces, of course. This is an illustration commission I had. I did several versions of, and then had some issues because they canceled. But, so this is still a little sketchbook in progress. That's it. Notes, thinking out a scene. Doing demos for my class. It's a really nice sketchbook, and I find that some places charge more than others. I got a deal on it, so that's nice, but a lot of places it's like a $30 book. It's got kind of a off-white, high linen content paper. It's really nice. Ivory finish, which I quite prefer in my sketchbooks at this point. And you should draw a lot all the time, and have it with you all the time, and yes, that does mean that occasionally they take a beating. It's a little too bad about that. And it has a lovely fruity smell. But so is life. So keep practicing. Draw all the time. Draw often. And draw well. Keep an eye out for the Patreon campaign. It's coming soon. There'll be some pretty wide range of rewards. And I hope it works. My kind of plan is to develop it over the course of a year, and then I've got some goals that I'll get in detail in the appropriate time. But fingers crossed, and cheers.